If you're on this journey of realizing that you are actually a lesbian later on in life, and especially while in a relationship with a man, then stop listening to what everyone else is telling you to do and start listening to yourself. Okay. And I want to talk about this a little bit more in this video. So, welcome to the Late Life Lesbian. My name is Emily Better. I am a late life lesbian myself and the late life lesbian life coach. And the goal of my channel is to help other women who are realizing their true sexuality later on in life to be able to embrace this and to live as their authentic selves. Okay, so as I said, if you are in this position of realizing that you are, in fact, a lesbian later on in life, you've got to stop listening to everybody else. I know it's really, really common to want to get advice and input and, look things up. But, and sometimes even all this happens in your own head. Sometimes you're holding all of this inside, but you're listening to what society is telling you. You're listening to society say that divorce is wrong. You're listening to society say that, maybe being homosexual is a bad thing, or it means that in some way you're less than. These are homophobic beliefs and thoughts that often are instilled in us, sometimes from our upbringing. You know, Listening to society's expectations and what society says about how divorce is terrible for kids and you'll ruin their life, or that your divorce will be catastrophic to you financially and your family and all that. So there's so much that we hear on the outside that can influence what is truly right for us. And what it comes down to is doing what is, in fact, truly right for you. And again, people on the outside, those outside voices and influences are going to say, well, that means that you're selfish and you're inconsiderate and, you must not care about your family and all of that. And in order to come out and live as your true self, we have to stop listening to what everybody else says and to find out what truly feels right and aligned for us. And this can be really, really hard. It can, because when we've been raised away or we have grown up in a way or live in a society or in an area of the world or the country where we hear all of these things, it can be really difficult to separate out and differentiate what is truly our own voice and feeling and what is the voice and feeling that we hear from society and everybody else, our family members, our friends, whatever it is that we hear on the other side. Okay. But something that you can do is to sort of take a step back. And this is something that I often ask people. If nothing else mattered, if you could just shut off all society, you could shut off everything that people have told you, you could shut off, the fear and the worry, and the only thing you had to think about was you. What would you want for yourself? And I know that's really hard, but whatever comes to mind where you can just think of you and what feels right for you, whatever comes to mind, typically is the right thing, because living authentically means being you, doing what's right for you. Okay. So many of us have been taught and ingrained that this means that we are selfish and we're inconsiderate of other people and that we are going against like a marriage vow that we took, and that's wrong and that's bad. But if you are doing all of these things in a way that you are sacrificing yourself and you are denying who you truly are and you are denying what's right for you are not going to be happy. Okay. And people will also say, oh, happiness isn't everything and all of that. But to live a life that is true and fulfilling and satisfying and that you are content with, your happiness does matter. And you are the only person who is in control of your happiness and can do what truly is right for you. Okay. And all the things that people will tell you, that is bad and awful and terrible about this, it's their own perspective and opinion. It's the belief that they have formed. Okay. And I can tell you from personal experience that getting divorced, yes, it's hard. And yes, it comes with its own complications and things like that. But doing it so that you can be true to yourself, that you can live authentically, that you can set that example for your children and feel free and full is completely worth it. And in my opinion, the right thing to do. I wouldn't be the wife and partner that my ex husband needed because I just couldn't. And that would likely have led into more bitterness and anger and resentment and animosity because we weren't able to be what each of us needed. He could never be what I needed. I could never end up being what he needed and wanted. And that's just going to create a bad relationship. And that is not the type of relationship that I want my son to experience. Even though his dad and I are divorced, he still sees us as happy and getting along and we can be friends and all of that. And he sees me being happy and fulfilled and true to myself. And he also recognizes and understands that he can be whoever he is, whether that's gay or straight or whatever he decides to do with his life, he can be who he is and he will be loved and supported in that. So, by us being who we truly are, the other thing that happens with this is that we set the example for other people that it's okay for them to be who they are. And then that just allows more and more people to be their true selves and live authentically. So, if you are in this situation, it's so hard, but please just stop listening to what everybody else is telling you and just start listening to what feels right and in alignment for you. If you need some help and you need some support on this journey, I provide additional support and resources. I run the Late Life Lesbian community. I offer one on one services. There are links below this video if you're interested in either of those options. It's my goal to help people, work through this and to really be able to live as their true selves, however that looks for them. Okay. If you enjoyed this video, is helpful, please like and subscribe. If you know anybody that's going through this, please share this video with them to hopefully offer some help and support. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.